Peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters. What's going on, yo? Yo, this your boy Abdul Sabor. And I just want to come and I just want to ask a question. Because I feel like that, we have been victims. And I'm not talking about, just victim to white people and to slavery. I'm talking about, man, we have been victims to ourselves. And I look at the music that we make. I look at the movies that was made back in the 70s, Superfly and all that. And it was a path to destruction. And, even the movies that was made like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, even though these movies had a bad outcome, we still don't look at the bad outcome. We always just look at, the thrilling part of it, the part that I want to be like. And I just want to ask my brothers and my sisters, do you think that it worth it that us living in the streets? Do you think that it's worth it that, we want to be hoodlums, thugs, and gangsters? I'm going to give you a story, man. Today, it's story time today. I'm going to tell you a story about me. I'm a brother that was raised in Tallulah, Louisiana. A lot of y'all people don't know where that's at, man. It's a small town. A very irrelevant town. But at the same time, it does the same thing that big cities that do. And I was one of these guys, man, that was influenced, to wanting to live the street life. I wanted to be a gangster. And, so I was inspired to be that by the stuff that I seen on my TV, by the stuff I heard on music, and by, things I seen in my neighborhood. So across the tracks, there was Crips boys. And, on my side of the town, on the west side, that was Bloods. So, I eventually fell into the Bloods. I was bounty hunter. West side for life, always going to be gang affiliated because I feel like I would never turn my back on these brothers because these brothers just need to, a lot of us growed up, a lot of us hasn't, but I'm going to just tell you, I still have love for these people. I'm going to always have love for them. But, it's time to grow up, people. And let me tell you why it's time to grow up. Let me show you what happened. I started, banging around the age, I say like 11. It was around like 91. So I was 11 years old. And I wanted to be in the streets. And, I had mad respect for my mom, but, I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be feared. I wanted to be respected. So I seen the guys in my neighborhood, what they was doing, they had all the attention. They had all the girls. So I followed up behind that. And, eventually, I might not got liked like I wanted it, but I was feared. And, and I started having to prove myself, from with the fighting, with the cussing out teachers, even fighting the teachers, fighting authorities. So at an early age, they curbed my gangsterism. And, and I said we victims. We're victims to society. We're a victim to the system. We're a victim to racism. We're a victim to the even to other races. But most of all, we are victims to ourselves because in this day and age, there is no way we should be mind fucked the way that we are mind fucked. Because it is designed for you to like the stuff that you like. Because if it was so bad, it is bad, but it is so bad that if it was affecting, it is affecting them now. But if it was affecting them if it was affecting the white race like it was affecting our race, they would ban it. They would stop showing it on TV. They would stop playing it on the radios. But since it's affecting us more than it affecting them, they constantly letting us be a victim to our own creation. Even though we seen the white race doing it first, being gangsters, because, we weren't trying to be gangsters at one point in time, no. We fall up behind our masters, you know. And as long as you try to be a gangster, a thug, or a hoodlum, they was doing that first over here. So therefore, when you try to do that, you falling up behind your masters. You know, you are their puppet, and you exterminating yourself without them even have to lift a finger. Only thing they got to do is just keep financing it. You know, keep putting the money out there so they could keep, you know, making these little boys rich, these little girls rich, so they could be your role model, and at the same time they being role models to their children. So their children can learn the business and become businessmen while you out here being a 40, 50-year-old gangster with nothing. And even if the ones who out there being the entertainers doing this, you know, they retire with a little something, but not with what they supposed to have. But to get back to my topic, story, I said today is story time. So at the age of 15, you know, my gangster career came to a halt. You know, man, I ended up getting 35 years for involuntary manslaughter. You know, it was they dropped it down from second degree to involuntary manslaughter because they said I was young. And they said I did it in a heat of passion because I was upset. True, I damn sure was upset. You know, I ain't gonna lie. You know, man, I see number red when I pulled that trigger. You know, man, I felt totally disrespected. But I'm not finna go into details, you know, of what happened, because the people back then, they know what happened. You know, I'm not trying to send the family back through that memory. You know, but like I said, the only regret that I have is that I took him away from his family. I hurted his mother, and I hurted my mother. And I hurted myself. But I was a victim to my own creation. I created this guy. You know, even because I wanted to follow up behind my masters. But anyway, they ended up giving me 35 years, man. And they charged me as an adult. They made a example out of me. And during the year of 1995 in Louisiana, they was making an example out of a lot of young fellas, man. And you know, and after the year 95, Texas and Florida was getting it. You know, so, and you know, it was a lot of black people. So, you know, so when I went into the prison system, you know, it was the same thing. You know, I was surrounded by the peoples I was surrounded by. Most of them was black. You know, we had a few Mexicans, you know, because we down south at the time. There wasn't that many Mexicans in Louisiana. And, you know, just white boys. And, you know, one thing I can say about our prison system, we wasn't race divided. You know, man, they put you in, you went in when you went in. Blood, Crip, Mexican, white, whatever you were, you survived the way you survived, man. They ain't trying to help you. You know, you got it the way you got it. So we had to do what we had to do. But I'm showing you, I did 18 years off of that 35. I went in out when I was 15 years old. I got out when I was 33. So I lost all those years, all because I wanted to be a thug. All because I wanted to be a gangster. All because I wanted to be street. And my master showed me who was the real gangsters. I remember back in the days, man, you know, Snoop Dogg and Tupac made the statement that real gangsters wear suits. I come to find out that was true by the hard way. Because, you know, man, I see a real gangster is a DA. That's a shot caller. A judge is a real gangster. That's a shot caller. You know, these people got your life in the palm of their hand. Polices, they're gangsters because you respect them. Soon when you see them, you know, you bow down. You know, soon they tell you to do something, man. Let me show you how much gangster we were. And, you know, and it's still relevant to this day. I was so gangster that if a brother look at me wrong, I was ready to fight him. You know, if he say something wrong, I was ready to fight him. And if he disrespect me to a point that I felt like that fighting couldn't redeem myself, I was ready to kill him. But the same thing go for these cops. I'm like, a cop look at me wrong, I'm ducking my head. I still see this with gangsters that's supposed to be hard. You know, they talk to you reckless. Bruh, what I do, bruh? Bruh, why you hailing me like that, man? Let me go, bruh. I'm talking about you a killer, man. Supposed to be a whole gangster, and you letting this cotton handle you like that? Well, you better wake up to reality. I'm just telling my brothers and my sisters to wake up to reality. See what's going on. You got a whole war around you, and you must know it. And some of y'all do know it, but y'all don't care because, man, y'all jigables. You know, you the type of people, man, as long as I'm getting paid for it, I don't care. And you the worstest enemy to the black race. Well, like I said, man, you know the biggest enemy that we have today, it's not the white people. It's you. When you look in the mirror, you'll see you'll see the biggest enemy staring back at you. Because when it come all down to it, when I make that full circle, that 360, the person that put me in prison was me. One, my family. My family tried to talk to me, telling me that, you know, the streets ain't what it is. I even had one little hood brother. He was from the hood, you know, and he was gangster. But he was an old gangster. And, you know, he wasn't making the moves like the young gangsters was making. You know, he was like, man, you talks too much. You know, he wasn't putting no. I heard stories about him when he was younger, but you old now, dude. But he told me something, man, that stuck with me to this day. He said, the hardest thing about being hard is real. And the streets ain't that hard because you look closer, you'll see the cracks. He was speaking in rhythms to me, man. I ain't understand what he mean. Talking about the streets, you look close at the streets got cracks. Man, of course, man, it's concrete, it's gonna have cracks. But I feel what he's talking about, meaning that it's flawed. The streets is flawed. And you know, we looking up to these puppets for guidance. You know, these gangster rappers, you know, these people that want to be hood and stuff. And you know, and they masters are the puppet masters that pulling their strings. They raise their hand. We being the look, and if they the puppet masters, is the puppet master pulling the string for the puppets? What the hell that make us? If the people we looking up to are puppets, what the hell that make us? What the hell that make you? You know, so I just had to tell my little story. You know what being gangster, being hood got me. Because one little young dude that's supposed to be a rapper. I don't know these young rappers now, man, because I don't really keep up with them. But one dude made a statement saying, man, if they was so hard and they was so it was gangster. He was talking about, I think BG, he was talking about somebody, but gangster is the one of the brothers, Baby and Slim. And you know, and he made a statement, you know, they interviewed him from Angola somewhere, and he on the phone, and he made a statement like, well, if the people out there that's doing all this rapping, that's doing all the stuff they saying they doing, you know, if they were so gangster, why the hell they don't got multiple bodies? Why the hell they not, you know, not in prison? Why the hell they not dead yet? Because gangsters don't live that long. Even on the street, or even living life. Because a gangster, it's just, you know, got to come full circle. You know, even smart gangsters get dealt with. So even you faking the funk, and you got the people believing this and got them living this lie. And the bad part, I remember back in the days, man, you had studio gangsters. You know, these dudes wasn't gangsters. They just rapped about what the production people wanted them to rap about because that brought in money. And, you know, they were studio gangsters. They ain't live the shit they rapped about. But these little dudes, man, got it so bad that they actually tried to live this gangster shit. And, you know, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. You know, ain't nothing real about being a gangster. Ain't nothing real about being a thug. And, you know, I'm back in the era of Tupac. I got Thug Life tatted on my, you know, on my stomach, just like him. Because like Pac said, Thug was a movement. You know, Thug Life was a movement. And even though I was in my ignorance and I was in my, crazy stage, I understood where Pac was coming from. I didn't really understand him to the fullest. I understand that in order for him to keep your attention, he had to get on the ignorance stuff a little bit. But at the same time, he was trying to educate us. And that's why he was dangerous, so they had to get him out the way. But most of these rappers around him, crushed. All the guys that was born during the 80s and listen to the raps I could say from 79 all the way up to, I could say 95, 96. How many rappers at least had one conscious rap? Had one conscious song on their tape? Something identify them with the struggle. Something that you could sit back and think and contemplate on. You don't hear that today, man. You could listen to the whole album, and the whole album is talking about iced out. You know, man. You know, me effing this girl, me blowing this dude head off. But you know, it ain't. I remember back in the days, at least one album, out of each album, there was one song on there that was positive. But to this day, man, some people say hip hop is dead. Sometimes I think the black culture is dead. Because it don't lead nothing but to a devastating death lifestyle. Black people, let's get it together. That's all I got to say. How I do is support, man. Hit your boy up, man. Let me know what you think about this. And give me your comments. Peace.